Okay, I think we are live. So, as promised, I wanted to open up the conversation around my dark horse movement and why I am so passionate and ignited to help this work get into the hands, the hooves, the paws of as many people as possible, specifically my high vibe, horsey humans that are drawn to the spirit of the horse, whether you have them, whether you work with them, whether you had them as kids, whether you love the movie The Black Stallion like I did. It really doesn't matter. But the dark horse movement that I am feeling called is really the next level of my soul's work. Just to give you a little background, by the way, in case you are new to me, my name is Helena Das, and I have gone from woo-woo voodoo vet for over 2 decades to horse shaman when I had my spiritual awakening after the death of my first horse and my mom the same year in 2007. And from there kind of went on this unbridled soul journey to the beyond and back. And fast forward, I call myself these days, because I've had several evolutions of my soul's work on my journey and the way I describe what I do as a multi-passionate, multifaceted, soul-led, heart-led, horse-led equinepreneur is a shepreneur. And the she, which stands for sacred horse energy, is really at the heart, at the essence, at the core of everything that I do and stand for. You may or may not have seen, I started my She Show podcast where I've interviewed a couple of amazing women who work with horses and are doing their soul's work with the horses. You may want to check those videos out. And really today, what I wanted to do is introduce to you 5 signs that you are a dark horse and that you are meant to be part of this movement, and that you are really, at the end of the day, meant to lead, meant to create a wild success, fulfillment, and freedom on your terms. And by the way, that book that you see in the background, you may want to check it out. Amazing case studies at a project done by Harvard called the Dark Horse Project, where they talk about amazing souls who did exactly what I am talking about. They created success on their terms by putting fulfillment first, bucking the system, and doing things their way. And so I am such a huge stand for that. And I'm stepping into my own movement around being a soul-led equinepreneur. And again, really desiring it's really on my soul to help the women who love, have, or work with horses really rise to their greatness, to their fullest potential, and shine their light and share their gifts like never before, because you are needed on the planet now. So, um, what else do I want to share before I dive into the 5 signs? Any housekeeping logistics before I forget? If you receive value from my video, please do the things with the buttons, share the love, like, subscribed if you haven't already. Welcome back if you're returning. If you're new here, warm welcome. I am so happy that you found your way here. So, what is the dark horse, or what are the 5 signs that you are a dark horse? I could honestly talk on this topic for hours. So, we are going to start this new series. I just finished off my Manipura Monday series, and going forward on Mondays, I'm shifting gears and we're going to be talking about this dark horse movement. I'm going to be putting into action what the Manipura Mondays is all about. Manipura And if you haven't checked out those videos, I have four awesome videos talking about the magic of Manipura, the solar plexus and third energy center, aka our core star, and my take on how you can activate and use that energy center to align your will with divine will, to really turn your fear into fire, and at the end of the day, like move, like take bold, fearless, aligned action towards your dreams and goals. And by the way, I want to say I'm not talking about like keeping busy and taking action to take action for the sake of being busy. I'm talking about the aligned action that is aligned with your soul's calling, your soul's vision, your soul's values, and truly letting that pull you forward. Okay. So back to our five signs. So the five signs that this was kind of given to me on my journey of really exploring the depth and the rich spiritual symbolism of the dark horse and all the different dimensions and teachings and different traditions and cultures. My own background, my beloved dream horse come true is a black Arabian gelding. There's so many facets of my life and my learning and my expansion that I'm drawing on. And so today, what I'm going to be sharing with you are these five signs that Spirit gave to me, that my dark horse gave to me. And again, my background in the healing arts, and just at the end of the day, my obsession, my soul's obsession with this work. I want to start off by saying that years ago, before I even started the Medicine of the Horse movement, I did, by the way, host my first online Medicine of the Horse summit a couple of years back, years ago, and this is going back around 2015, 16, to the best of my memory. I can remember hearing the words, empower the sacred feminine with the medicine of the horse. And when I first heard those words, that mantra, there was this deep truth or knowing that I felt. I got chills, and yet there was a part of me that didn't really understand the depth of what that meant. Well, fast forward now, almost a decade later, I do, and it is really with the medicine, the magic, the spirit of the dark horse that helped me understand what that mantra, why it was coming to me, and what it means. And so, again, I'm going to open up this conversation today to help you know if this movement is for you, how it can benefit you, if you're meant to also be part of the change with this movement. So, and how my work can potentially benefit you, whether you continue watching these videos or decide at some point to go deeper with me. And so the first sign that I am going to share with you is that you, chances are, like me, you feel like the black sheep. You feel like you didn't fit in. You feel like a black unicorn or a dark horse. And really growing up, you knew you were different, right? You just, for me, I felt like an alien in my family. And when I discovered years later, when I embarked on my spiritual journey, that my starseed origin is from the planet Sirius, that's a whole other conversation. But anyway, there's this knowing, like you just never really felt like you fit in. And because of that, when we look at divine duality and we look at how our soul wounds, if you will, because when we don't fit in, and that's one of the greatest, human desires, right? To belong, to be accepted, to be loved, right? And when we feel like we don't fit in and we feel like we're kind of cast out, right? And maybe rejected or abandoned or whatever your flavor was, it can be kind of painful and traumatic. And what I want you to know is that your soul wound literally is the path, is the key to unlocking your soul's work, your soul's wisdom, your soul's wealth, your soul's gifts, your soul's purpose, if you will. And so I want you to know that if you are someone who feels like you don't fit in, then the gift is that you get to own that you are meant to stand out. You are meant to lead with your own unique personal brand of magic. And the reason that you didn't fit in is because you weren't meant to. You were meant to be part of the change. You came here at this time on the planet to be a love leader, a change or wave maker, a movement maker. Okay. And so that is huge. And when you can shift into owning that and really seeing how that is the truth, that you are literally chosen, everything is going to change for you. So that is the first sign that you are a dark horse. And the second one that I want to share with you is, in many ways, you are an alchemist. You're naturally gifted, like you understand, even if maybe, depending on where you're at on the journey in terms of how aware or developed your gifts are, on a deep soul level, you have this inner knowing, like you understand the balance between darkness and light. You get that hermetic principle, so within, so without. You understand that the energy is everything, right? And that comes first, right? That the ideas that we all have as humans come before we ever create anything. And that is really the seed. The seeds of our desires are really that point of creation. And so you are, in many ways, an alchemist, a magician, because you know intuitively, and maybe you've had some experiences where you've already done this. If you have, let me know down below where you know that you can turn shiz into gold. You know how to transmute and transform things that are going on that maybe are like problems, and you turn them into your power, or maybe you turn your obstacles into overflow, or maybe you haven't quite mastered your skills yet, but you know and you believe that it's possible. Like you get the laws of the universe without perhaps having studied them yet. So that is the second sign that you are a dark horse. The third one, that third sign that you're a dark horse, is the essence of the feminine. Like regardless of gender, you know that the invisible, the energetic, the unseen are playing a huge role, perhaps bigger than we all want to admit or realize, right? You get, and these are all connected, right? With that, so within, so without, you get that the unseen and the energetics and who you are being at the end of the day is actually more important than what you are doing. That your beingness is what radiates and channels your light. And that is how you are meant to impact and touch the lives of those you are meant to do so, right? Those you're meant to serve, those, whether it's your loved ones, your family, two-legged or four, your clients, your community, your relationships and beyond, right? And in many ways, you're actually meant to play big. Like you're not here to play small. You're really here to do big things. And these are the women that I feel called and know that I'm here to support at this time, the women who are here to lead and be the change. So this feminine aspect of this is helping bring things. I got a little off track there. I'm a little excited. This feminine aspect is helping to bring things back into harmony, where the way that we as dark horses do things, it's not about like the hustle and the doing and the, just like overworking and being like a workhorse, right? We also get that to restore balance and even be sustainable, right? We get to learn how to expand our capacity to receive, right? In order to receive if we desire more freedom, if we desire more fulfillment, if we desire more love, support, money, resources, right? We don't have to, like the old paradigm is all about the work and the hustle. If we work more, work harder, then we'll make more money, right? The dark horse knows that that's not the path. She intuitively gets that we get to work our magic and do the self-care, the self-love, as well as whatever your personal brand of magic is. Maybe it's meditation, maybe it's journaling, maybe it's breath work, maybe it's yoga. Whatever your personal brand of magic is that makes you come alive, and maybe like me, you have more than one. But we get to do those things and we get to prioritize those things. And when we take action, when we take aligned action, again, we're doing it from that place of a full cup, a full well, right? And from a place of who we are being, because we are reclaiming our throne and our crown, and even really, and this is, I'm going a little off track here, but this is part of the Dark Horse legacy and movement, is really activating the codes of remembrance of your royal feminine lineage. Maybe you resonate with being a goddess or a priestess or an empress, or whatever the case may be. It's really connecting with that essence and that part of you and the sacred feminine. The symbolism of the dark horse, according to Carl Jung, literally represents, if you're having dreams about dark horses, for example, in the research by Linda Koanoff, who's one of the equine experts I interviewed in my Medicine of the Horse Summit, the symbolism of the dark horse represents these long suppressed feminine energies rising. Okay. And so that is for me the third sign of the dark horse. Again, that spirit or the collective spirit of the horse, the wind horse herd, gave to me, that came through. The fourth one is going to be that you are naturally intuitive, highly sensitive, maybe empathic, maybe psychic. Your gifts are extraordinary. And these are tied to that connection, if we go full circle, to, not fitting in and being, different all your life, right? You probably, felt things and knew things and had this inner depth of understanding and feeling and compassion for those that you came into this incarnation with that family, your or family of origin, right? Who you, of course, made that soul contract to help you discover your gifts, right? So there's this really, you are incredible at what you do. And again, depending on where you're at on the journey, maybe you haven't quite discovered or owned your gifts at, that next level yet. But intuitively, how you're feeling when I say this, if it resonates, you will feel the truth of that. Okay. And so that is the fourth sign that you are a dark horse. The fifth and final sign that you are a dark horse has to do with this calling on your soul. This calling that the nudge keeps getting louder and just won't go away no matter how much you ignore it or avoid it, right? It just keeps getting bigger. Maybe you've had it your whole life. Maybe it's something that keeps you going to your next level. Like, I know for me, all of the things that I do and share and have been on my journey since I ventured into the online space in 2016, initially birthing my work in a global healing telesummit. I was interviewed as a guest speaker and expert in a global healing telesummit called From Heartache to Joy. Maybe you've heard of it. And since that time, whether I've shown up on Facebook. Initially it was Facebook and then YouTube. I kind of played for a while and then I went to Instagram and then it was Mighty Networks and I'm still on Instagram and I'm back on YouTube. Wherever it is that I've been called at the time to share my message, share my work, share my gifts, share my voice, share my wisdom and what I've been learning on my journey. That is something that I've been so obsessed with. And it's crazy because there are times I'll share transparently, there's times along the way I thought I wanted to give up and throw in the towel and didn't know why I was doing what I was doing. There might be crickets or nobody, engaging or nobody, buying my offers or whatever the case may be, right? And what I have learned on this journey is that it was more about who I am becoming and who I have become. Again, I've been on this ride since 2016 in the online arena, but my spiritual awakening and journey started back in 2007. And the more I'm on this ride, like the more further along I go, not only is there a part of me, it's like the more I learn, the less I know because I'm always learning and I'm always seeking that higher level of truth and potential and wisdom and power. But I also know that some of the greatest breakthroughs that I've had for myself in terms of my personal freedom and fulfillment and health and wealth of being have truly come from who I am being and my self-concept and choosing and acting from that place, which is why I was inspired to do the little series on the Manipura Mondays, which, again, that's another conversation. Anyway, I think I've kind of gone off track. Um, yeah, so quick recap, and I love teaching and remembering things by acronyms. And so this acronym is MAGIC. And so the 5 signs that you are a dark horse are: 1, you feel like a misfit and you don't fit in. Or that's the M, right? The A, you are an alchemist. You're a natural, magician, really. And then the G, the goddess, the feminine, the priestess. And again, even if you are a guy, you get and you understand that tapping into the feminine for yourself and collectively is the way forward, right? It is part of how we are bringing heaven to earth. And then uh, I is that intuitive, sensitive, maybe even psychic, gifts that you have. And finally, C is that calling on your soul and that calling to make a difference, to make an impact on the planet, but in a way that also is lighting up your soul and making you come alive. So those are the 5 signs that you are a dark horse. If you resonate with any of them, let me know down below. And I look forward to continuing this conversation and really helping you rise to your next level in your bodies, in your business, if that applies, your soul-led biz, or if you're an entrepreneur especially, but not limited to. And you're alive, because if not, why are we here, right? We know life is so short, and if we're not doing what makes us come alive, then what is the point, right? When we wait for someday, that really becomes never day, right? That really doesn't happen. And so my invitation to you, if you are listening to this and there is a calling on your soul, whatever it is, big or small, is to really commit to yourself, to take, even if it's one baby step every single day, right? It's those small steps, those baby steps that lead to big shifts. And so I am going to leave you with that. Please let me know how this resonated for you. Leave me a message down below if all 5 signs resonated, or maybe just 1 or 2. And of course, if you have any questions, let me know. And so I will be back with you next Monday, and we are going to continue this conversation around the dark horse movement and how being part of this movement at whatever level can truly help you again start creating more fulfillment, more freedom, and success in your life and your business and your career and your relationships. Again, wherever it is for you, because we're all unique. Although I will say I am specifically feeling called to support the equinepreneurs and soul-led biz people, humans, at this time. But wherever you feel, wherever that resonates for you, know that if you're a dark horse, you are literally meant to do things your way. You are here to be the change. You are here to be that sacred rebel and trailblazer and movement maker. So again, yeah, so I think that's all I have for you today. If you received value, thank you again for liking and sharing and subscribing if you haven't already. If you have a friend who you think would enjoy this conversation, please share the love. And until next time, ciao for now.